Welcome coders, welcome back to Coding Casually, and today's topic is how you can use SQLite with Flask application. So what we'll try to build today is an application which would act as a phone book, and this is how the application would look like, and this is purely done on Flask. We'll be putting the name of the person that we want to store the phone number for, and by pressing the submit button we'll be submitting that information into an SQLite database, and then we'll use the find numbers hyperlink to hop onto the second page of the application to find the name, to find the number of the person that we have stored the phone number for. So for that, what we'll do is we'll close this, and I want you to make a folder. The name of the folder can be anything. I have named it Flask, and in that what I want you to do is to create a folder called templates and create two HTML pages. The first one is the phone book, the second one is the result page. I'll show you the HTML for both the pages, but before that what we'll do is we will try to configure the Python file for this, and for that I have my Visual Studio Code open, and what I'll do is I'll open up a file, and it's a blank file called my app, and this is a blank file. Okay, so what happens in SQLite or using SQLite Python on Flask, what we can do is we have to create first Flask application, and for that what we need to do is we need to import Flask, and what we do is we write from Flask we'll import Flask, we'll import render template, we will import requests. Okay, and then what we'll do is we will call the name of the application app, and then we'll write Flask, and then under this is the name, and then I'll say if this is the name and it's a main file, then run the file. Okay, and now what's gonna happen is, sorry for my throat, what's gonna happen is that basically what we have done here is we have imported all the libraries that we wanted in order to make this app, and for Flask in purpose, and then just because we need to include sqlite3 or sqlite in it as well, so we'll write import sqlite3, and then I would need to specify the directory for the operating system as well, so that is the reason I'm writing the import statement for OS, which is the operating system. So what I'll do here is I have already named the name of the application. I need to have the directory where I will be storing my SQLite database. For that I'll be writing current directory, and then we'll be writing os.path.directory name, and then I will open up the bracket and I'll say os.path.absolute path for my file. So what I'm doing here is I've stated I need the directory where this file resides, which is my py file. Okay, alright, so I have the name of the Flask application here. What I'll do is I'll write a route, which is app route this, and this is the home page. So the moment you open up the site, this is something which will be shown to people, and I will write here define main application, and in main application what I'll do is I'll return a template which is called phonebook.html, and we'll press Ctrl S, and let's see what do we have in this application till now. So we have a syntax error. Let's sort that syntax error first, and then we'll see what is the issue. Okay, and we don't have to put this, and then we'll fire the app, and let's see what we have. So this is the address for the website. As we can see, when we open this doesn't work right now, so don't expect it to work. It will give you an error because we haven't written any function to it. So this is something that we pull out from the HTML file, and now we'll close this and we'll go further with the application. So now what's gonna happen is we have to pull out the information from the form which is there in the HTML, and we'll write app.route, and then we'll open up the bracket and say that the form is in the main page only, and then we'll use the methods and that will be a post method, just because we want to store that information which will be coming out from the form. And then what we'll do is we'll write a function called phone book, and then we'll close it, and then we'll say the name resides at the form which has a tag name of name. Okay, and then we have a phone number as well. We'll say phone number resides at the in the form itself, and the name of that tag is phone number. Now what's gonna happen here is we'll write a connection to the SQLite database. Well, I'll write connection and then pull out sqlite3 and then write connect, and this is the directory that I'm trying to target, and I'll just concatenate a string and the name of the database. The name of the database here is phone book .db, and that's all. And what we need here is a cursor as well, so that we can execute queries, and for that what we need to write is connection dot cursor, and now we have a cursor for the same. And before I go ahead, I want to show you the database, which is the phone book DB, and this is how the database looks like. It is not a big thing. What we can do is you can download DB browser for SQLite and create new database by pressing this button, and then the moment you have created the database, you can press create table, and then while you are in the table, like this is a basic form of table only. It has two columns. The first one is the name and the second one is the phone number. The name is in text format and the phone number is in integer format, because we'll be storing phone numbers. And then we'll press OK, and you will see write changes for the first time. I'm not seeing it because I did not make any changes to it. And what I can do here is I was telling you, this is how the database looks like, and you can go on to the execute SQL, and here you can execute the SQL statements as well. And this is how my table looks like. So I have only made one table, which is the phone book table, and the name of the database is phonebook.db. Here is something that you can see. And if you want to create or enhance your application with other parameters as well, or other columns, that is purely fine, that is up to you. But for this purpose, we are just trying to make an application in which we would be using sqlite3 or SQLite. So this is how the database looks like. And now what you can do is you can go back to your Visual Studio Code, and then after writing a cursor, what we can do is we can write a query called the insert query. We can write insert into phone book. This is the name of the table, and then we'll use values, because I know that there are only two columns. So the first value is something that I'll be using as name. The second value would be phone number, right? So I can write PNM, and then I'll close it, and then I'll format it, and then I'll say that n equals to name and PNM equals to phone number. And just because I know name will be a string in a string format, I'll put string here, and then hopefully this will go, and then I will write cursor dot execute, and I'll be executing the query 1. And then after everything goes fine, what I'll do is through my connection I'll commit the source as well, right? And I'll press Ctrl S, and let's see whether we have any issues or not. We do have it, because this is something which will come here, and it is all sorted out. And now what's gonna happen is we'll create another route, and that will go on to the result page. And for that, what we'll write result page, and then use methods, and that will be get method. And then what I'll do is I'll write a function called result page, And this is not going to be tricky, but this is going to be a smart move because we'll start it through try statement, because what we want is the result to be in the same page and the form in the same page as well. So we'll write if request dot method is get method. What we'll do is we'll pull out the name of the person that we want to get the phone number for, and we'll write request, and then we'll write args, and then we'll write get. What we want to get is the name of the person that we're trying to find. So we'll write name here, and then we'll write connection. So this is something that you can copy from here and then paste it here and give it a right indentation, and then write another query one, which will be select phone number, and then we want to get it from phone book. Phone book is the name of the table, and then we will write where name equals to n, and we'll write format, and then say n is what? N is name only, and then we'll press enter, and then what we'll do is we'll write cursor.execute query 1, and then we want the result to be here, so we'll write result equals to this, and then we can write result again, and then write result dot fetch all. We want the first row, we want the first column to kick in, and then what we'll do is we can return render template, and then template can be or should be result page dot html, right? But we need to display the phone number as well, so we'll write phone number equals to result, and then when you are done with this, if you can write except because we are expecting the answer, the error to come first, so we write in return again render template, and this is something that we'll copy from here, and then we'll open up a bracket, we'll close the bracket, and in phone number we'll write nothing, and then when you are done you can simply pop this thing up, and let's try running the app. So the moment we'll run it, and we'll see whether there is an error or not. Right now in starting up the server there was no error. So now what we're gonna do is we'll open up this website by pressing Ctrl click, and the moment it opens up we'll try to store a number for ZZZ, and the number will be 565656123, and the moment I submit it, it goes in straight to the database. As you can see that here is the number that we have stored. In order to pull this number up, what we can do is we can go into the find number and then write the name of the person that we want to get the phone number for. The moment we press submit, we get his phone number. I know that we did not deal with update query or modify or alter anything. This is just a simple sqlite3 integration with Flask application on Python. You can create the app more advanced. This is just a basic version of the app. There are good possibilities where you can change the app to something which is fancy enough to be put on several sites, and this I know this app itself has much potential. You can create APIs as well if you want to convert the same into an Android application. So there is much. If you think that this was resourceful, please press the like button, and please do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.